It's Katrina at Dream Forward University. And in today's growth lab, it is Business Explained. We are going through business plan. Business Plans Explained. That is the series I'm using. It's an explained series. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm Katrina Roddy. I'm the owner of a company called The Corporate Breakup. And Dream Forward University is something that I use as my fictitious university to teach people to dream forward. But in order to do that as an entrepreneur, you need things to be explained to you because I spent 30 years in corporate insurance before even becoming an entrepreneur, and I definitely need things explained to me. So I'm trying to give you guys a leg up. And yesterday or another day, I don't know which day it was, that I went through Grants Explained because I was awarded a grant. So I'm going to explain it to people what grants are really about. This time it's Business Plans Explained because I will write business plans for individuals, not a grant writer. I am a business plan writer, and I have some tools and stuff for you to be able to write your own plan. This is not that. I am just explaining what a business plan is today. But before I even say that, there's some stumble points that I hit that made me realize why I needed a business plan, right? To start with, there are some stumbling points I hit. The first one was I thought I could wing it. I spent 30 years in corporate insurance, and I came out and I thought I knew everything. And I know this. I've been doing business forever, blah, 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 whatever, right? And it didn't quite work out that way. What happened is, you don't realize that you need a business plan until you need a business plan. So all of those individuals who started their business in 2020 and during the pandemic, and they were doing great, if they did not have any type of plan in place, it wasn't sustainable. That's just bottom line. It may have failed, it may have kept going, but it's not sustainable. So a business plan is in place because it's like your GPS system for your business. If you jump in your car right now and you use GPS to go to the store, go to the mall, go out of state, and you can't go without it, that's how you should be thinking about your business when it comes to a business plan and having that in place. You have an end result, but you got to have a route to get there, and that's what a business plan is. It is a roadmap. The first stumbling thing I told you was I tried to wing it. That didn't work because I realized that even to get my certification as an MWBE or a minority business entity, women business entity, or any other certifications, I needed to show a business plan. So that is probably what kicked it off. Just because I was curious about what that is and why do I need one. So that may be on another episode. Certifications maybe. Hit the like and subscribe button if you like the explained, if you wanted things explained. And then I like to say meet me over at School. So School is SKOOL, and it is a platform where all of us are getting together to talk about things that we need explained. And you can give me ideas of, since you're a new business owner, or even if you're an old business owner, you still need some things explained. Head over to my community and let's talk. Let's talk about what you need explained. So anyway, winging it, I got off track, but I was winging it. And then the second thing, let me think. I didn't really know my real numbers. So if you are a business owner and you've heard this term before, know your numbers, all of that could be captured in your business plan. Know your numbers. Your numbers should be in there, and we'll break down where they should be in your business plan in a little bit later. But that was one thing I did not know. I did not know my numbers or how to calculate my numbers. Numbers could be your KPIs, which is your key performance indicators, and that goes into your business plan as well. So I didn't know my numbers. So that's two things, right? There's another stumbling block. One other one was marketing. Man, I started spending so much money on marketing because you guys have the most beautiful marketing advertisements. And I'm like, I want that. I need that. But I did not even know who my audience was. It took me a minute to realize everybody's not your client. All money is not good money. And so that was another thing that was on the stumbling block. I stopped spending money in marketing because you can spend thousands in marketing and not get what you want because your message is wrong. So that was marketing. And then it was, what was another one? The competition. So as part of your marketing analysis, I didn't know my competition. I thought I was the only one doing this and I'm doing it well. And as most of us think, because we are headstrong, because we are really comfortable in the work that we're doing, and we know that we can do it better than someone else. So I didn't really know my competition. So that's another thing that I stumbled on. What else? And then it was just clearly just a roadmap. Like it was a roadmap to success. I think I started with this one. So just a roadmap. Whenever I get stuck, or when I have clients now that get stuck, I say, well, what does your business plan say you should be doing right now? So those were the 5 things, and I'm gonna stop with the fifth one is where I'm gonna lead into the actual business plan. So business plan, roadmap to success. I like to write a business plan in 3 components. 3 components to a business plan. And that just reminded me, there are 5 components to a business resume. Let me write this down so I won't forget. Before we end, I need to make sure that I talk about business resume. Okay. So 3 components to a business plan. The first component is a big chunk of everything, and first part of your business plan are statements. You got your mission statement, your vision statement, your social impact statement. Your executive summary eventually comes to that portion, to that top. But this is where all of the your statements, what are you thinking? How do you think about your business? What is your business doing? Your vision. So a mission statement, I like to say I like to keep it in a 5-word sentence. Not 5 words, but a 5-word sentence. So for example, I run a program called Classroom to Career where I teach youth entrepreneurship, right? But what am I doing in there? I am exposing students to career options. That's what I'm doing. I am teaching them different career options, entrepreneurship being one of them. And I learned those 5 words from an investor. I sat in on a pitch competition where I was a judge, and I sat next to an investor, and every time someone got up to speak, he stopped them and said, "What do you do again?" And he said, "Let me help you out. Give me 5 words or less. What do you do?" So that it sticks with me. I'm listening to all of these people come in. I can't really remember what you do. So that stuck with me. So I always ask you, and I ask anybody that I'm writing a plan for, and I utilize it myself. What are 5 words that capture your attention? 5-word sentence. I keep saying 5 words. 5-word sentence, because you want to make it a sentence. Exposing students to career options. If I said that, people know exactly what I'm doing. All right. So that's what I like for your mission statement. Keep it short and simple. What is your mission? Your vision could be as many words as you like. That is where I'm going to ask for you to dream forward. You dream forward in your mission, in your vision statement. Your vision should be, here's where I am, and here's what I visualize myself to be, and here's what countries I'm going to be in, and here's how I'm going to blow up, and you're going to dream, and you're going to dream forward. Again, hit like and subscribe. And then if you come and meet me at school, tell me what your biggest dream is. Tell me what some things that are in your vision statement. And I am on there as well, so it's not like a platform where you don't see me once you get in there. But maybe we can put some vision statements in there and we can review them together. It is a community where all of us are learning together and where business is explained. So you can meet me at school, skool.com. The link is here. But this is where you can dream forward, okay? So that is all of your statements going there. Your social impact, if you were able to hear my grants explained, you'll have a deeper understanding why a social impact is very important. But social impact statement is basically, how are you helping with your talents? How are you helping the world socially? Like, how are you helping? I started my business based off of a social impact. I wanted to make a social impact. I started my business because of the George Floyd incident, and I live in Chicago, and things around me were being destroyed. We had a lot of protests going on, but we also had a lot of vandalism, and the news media made it they made it their segment to talk about how bad the kids were, and I did, in my heart, I did not believe that. I believe that there is some badness to that, but that's not it. That's not the root cause. They're tearing up these places because it's not theirs. There's no ownership. They don't know who owns it, or care to know who owns it, or even understand how it's being owned. So I made it my mission to teach young people about business. So if you want to be a social media influencer, you can do that, but let me show you the business behind that. So my business is teaching people business. So that's what it was. So that's my social impact, youth development. So what's yours? Come up with your social impact, and let's talk about that in my school as well. So those are statements. Those were all your statements. I am going to leave you guys with a summary of what we discussed here in my YouTube Explained series for Business Plans Explained. So we got statements as the first section. The second section of a business plan is where all the meat is. You got your marketing in there, you got your operations, job descriptions, competitive advantage, your KPIs, your standard operating procedures, or you'll hear them called SOPs. You got your customer avatar, you got your targeted market. All of that is in the meat of the plan, and that is the second section that I write for people. First section feels very light and airy. By the time I get to the second section, I'm like, okay, so now that you say all of that, how are you going to get it done? That's where that part is. That is the meat of your plan. The third part is where you also get to dream forward, because they're projections. You're thinking about the forward part. This is where your financial projections, your exit and expansion strategies go here. Just anything that you're thinking for future. So the stuff that you wrote in your vision, it kind of ties into this, because you're like, how am I going to make money, and how am I going to end this? How do I want to leave this? Is this a legacy for my kids, my grandkids, my spouse, that's where all of that goes, is in that section. So there's three sections again. Remember, there are statements, there is the meat of the whole plan, so the plan itself, and then it is your dream forward, where all of your financial, your projections, all of that. That's how I write a plan. I am hoping that helped a lot explain how a plan is used and why they're used. And I can't ask you anything other than to like and subscribe. Oh, I said I was going to talk about business resume. So your business resume is just like your personal resume, but it's made for your business. Some people call this your capability statement, but it's basically a business resume, and there are 5 components to it. I like to make things that are easy for you to remember. So 5 components to it. And I am going to bonus everyone who finished this video. I'm going to put a link in here so that you can write your own resume. Let's start there. And it'll give you instructions on how to write it. There are 5 components: core competencies, your contact information, your company data, competitive advantage, and your completed projects. So all of that goes in a resume format, and you will get a link for watching this video and getting to the end of it. You'll get a link from me so that you can write that on your own. You'll also get a link summarizing what I spoke about today. So again, like and subscribe, and come on over and meet me at school, SKOOL, in Dream Forward University. That is Business Plans Explained. Enjoy your day. Goodbye and good luck.